Chapter 15, Demi-Humans. We switched off sleeping shifts, and before long, morning had come. By noon, we there were already new problems. We were out hunting upsels? Usapples. Ah, the kni- ah, the knife I'd given Ratai snapped with an audible crack. Here, take it. I didn't really have much of a choice, so I held out my utility knife to her. She took it and killed the Usapple. Usapple. That was biting me. I'm so sorry. Nothing lasts forever. It just broke. It's no big deal. It was just a cheap thing, and we'd never even had it sharpened. Let's just head back to town. Okay. We had cured a sizable amount of luggage. Dividing it between two of us, we set off for town. Also, I was now at level 11, and so was Raphtalia. On the way back to town, we ran into a few monsters, but Raphtalia was able to dispatch them with the little utility knife. Back in town, we sold our loot and medicine and ended up making 70 pieces of silver. I wonder what we should do. The knife? Raphtalia and I were eating at the food stall. It looked like we were making enough money to survive. If I could cook upsol meat, Usapple meat, we could eat for free. That took a little pressure off. I didn't know where to go, but I knew we needed to get good equipment and keep leveling up. Oh, hey, let's go to the weapon shop. Okay. Rumble. I heard a stomach rumbling behind me. I'm so hungry. Didn't you just eat? What was this? Puberty? How many times does she need to eat every day? Huh. Engel's coefficient was about to jump through the roof. If we didn't go hunting, she'd eat me out of the house and home. What I'm saying, old guy, is this. Give us the best equipment you can do for 65 pieces of silver. Throw in a utility knife, too. The weapon shop owner slapped his palm to his forehead. I guess I'm at fault, too, giving you such a cheap one. But you still need to take care of your weapons. Sorry. I was using it like it had blood clean coating. Bad idea, huh? Right. The balloons, mush, and eggs were all basically inanimate. Sure, the eggs had some liquid inside that you had to watch out for, but the usapples bled, and that must have affected the knife. On top of that, we never cleaned or sharpened it, so it was made to break more quickly. But it's only been 3 days since I saw you guys last. You're looking much healthier. You think? Raphtalia shot him a professional smile. What did he want to say? And you look happy too. I am. This was the perfect place to haggle. Hey, put most of that 65 pieces of silver into the weapon. What about you? I'm fine. Really? Raphtalia looked up at me, confused. Do I look like I need anything? Jeez. All that fighting we'd done so far, I hadn't been hurt even once. But the other heroes have warned me. The shielders were strong at the beginning, but fell behind as the game went on. So I wasn't going to waste resources on myself until we got far enough that the enemy's attacks started to hurt me. Raphtalia was acting like she didn't get what I meant. She was hugging the ball I'd given her. Well, this is fate, isn't it? I'll give you a deal. Just knock some off the price. I'm already giving you pretty much the lowest price I can. If I don't, you'll sick your balloons on me, won't you? So people really were gossiping about me. Not that it bothered me. This particular gossip was good for me. I'm I just repay absurdity and kindness. No skin off my back, though I bet you'd think of some other way to get what you want. You know me so well. I can tell just by looking at you. You're far more business-minded than those other heroes. I'll take that as a compliment. Now then. The old guy was rubbing his chin when he looked Reptalia over. Maybe it's about time you moved on from a knife. You think you're ready for a sword? You think you can handle it? You seem up for it. Maybe a short sword to start off with. We went off into a corner of the shop and started rummaging through boxes of things. Huh? I'm gonna use a sword? I guess so. I'll throw in a little lesson on how to use them, too. The old guy came back. He was carrying a tanned leather breastplate. Here, we've got an iron short sword and a leather breastplate. They're a bit old, but don't dwell on it. I'll adjust the size for you two. He handed the sword over and pulled the breastplate down over her clothes. At the same time, a loud grumble came from Atalia's stomach. Not again! Hey, she's a demi-human after all, right? She's a kid, and you should expect this as she levels up. What was that supposed to mean? I didn't really understand it, but apparently demi-humans lived by different rules. Huh? Really? Well, you just stay put and listen to the lecture. I'll get you some food, okay? Okay. The old guy at the counter burst into laughter at our conversation. All right, get out of here. I'll teach her the basics while you're gone. I left the weapons shop and ran to the market. He was saying that demi-humans had to pay for their levels by eating extra food. One odd type of creature. But her stats were getting higher, and she was getting stronger. That was good. Excuse me. Still though, I couldn't afford to spend all my money on her food. I bought some food and ran back to the weapon shop. The owner was in the middle of teaching Natalia how to use her new sword. See? Thanks! Natalia kept stuffing food into her mouth, and the shop owner kept talking about how to swing the sword and how to dodge attacks. It seemed like they were making progress. You up for this too? I'll just watch, thanks. Yeah, your defense is so high it doesn't matter anyways. But if you lose your balance, you'll be in serious trouble, the owner said, and finished his lecture. We settled the bill, then the old guy passed me a lump of white rock. What's this? It's a white stone. The new sword isn't coated either. If you don't do some periodic maintenance on it, it's going to break just like the last one. You don't say. The shield started to react, so I let it absorb the stone. Hey! Sharpening shield conditions met. Huh? What a funny name. I guess it was still a shield though. There were so many ore-lined derivatives. But I guess it wasn't a direct derivative. It was actually linked to the Sky Egg shield and the Yusa meat shield lines, which were really close. I guess it was just because the knife was essential cooking equipment. The defense level was pretty much indistinguishable from the egg shield. The Usapple shield, which I got by letting the shield absorb a dead Usapple before it was butchered. I had a higher defense value. Sharpening shield. Abilities locked. Equip bonus. Or praise of 1. Equip effect. Automatic sharpening. 8 hours. Heavy consumption. Equipped effect. I checked out the help screen. Equipped effects. Equipped effects are effects that appear only when a specific weapon is equipped. Unlike equipped bonuses, these effects cannot be imbued on the user by unlocking the weapon. so the user must equip the weapon in order to use them. Just like those other games with their effects. So like if it was a dragon type, you could expect a really spectacular effect when it was equipped. I think it was supposed to be something like that. I hurried to change my shield. Whoa! What was that? The sharpening shield was a little larger than the small shield. It consisted of a large white stone, but it was covered in etched grooves. Some of them were small, some of them were big. Some of them looked like you could slip a sheet of paper through them. Hey, you idiot, listen to me. Whatever. Automatic sharpening, 8 hours, heavy consumption. I wonder what that meant. If it was like the name, I guess it meant that the ability would use a certain amount of time. Hey! What is it, old guy? What's with that shield? You saw it before. It's legendary shield. I never heard of it. I never saw it. Yes, you did. It was a small shield back then. Then why is it a giant whetstone now? Because I let it absorb the whetstone you gave me. Come on, man. ... He looked at me like I was a lost cause. Like he couldn't follow anything I was saying. I'd heard that the legendary weapons were imbued with a mysterious power. Is this what they meant? Didn't the other heroes tell you? I haven't seen them in a while, and you're the only one that I've seen do something like that. We probably should have talked all about this out in advance. But who had the time to deal with pleasantries when a terrible fate would be upon us in just over a week? Apparently, the other heroes were planning on keeping secrets to give themselves an advantage. They had earned my distrust. But in their defense, there really was no need to go around showing your abilities off. I suppose they were being efficient. Well, what are you all worried about? Well, it says automatic sharpening for 8 hours with heavy consumption. It sounds like it'll automatically keep your sword sharp. I didn't know what it was going to consume, though. The owner took an old, rusted sword out from behind the counter and thrust it into one of the grooves of my shield. I'll give you some of my trashed equipment, and you can try it on this. Right, thanks. The icon appeared in my field of vision. It said now sharpening. It felt heavy, and my shoulders felt burdened. I looked at my status screen, and there was an SP rating listed there. It had never changed before, but now it was slowly decreasing. I had figured it was probably related to skill points, but I was surprised that it was used up on activities like this. All right, let's get going. We're going? We're going? Yes. I put my hand on Natalia's head and headed for the door. We need to focus on leveling up and then getting enough food to settle Raftalia's belly. Hey, old guy. What, did you forget something? He was leaning on the counter like he couldn't stand to be bothered by it with any more questions. There is a dungeon in the town on the other side of the forest. Do you know anywhere populated by monsters of similar strength? I unrolled my cheap map and pointed to the dungeon that woman had told me about. I figured it would be better to ask. I didn't have to believe what he said, though. Around the village that this road leads to, there are more monsters similar to that dungeon than the forest. Okay, cool. I'm going to visit. We need to focus on leveling up and making money before the prophesized day arrived.